Yo guys, in this video I'll show you how to create the Sci-Fi holographic scan effect in Unreal Engine 5. As you can see, we have the material here. We're going to build a fully animated material with diagonal scanning lines, dynamic colors, and then control everything in the blueprint, like a real access scanner. And the best part is you can change everything live in the game. So let's get into it. So we have this scanning area. We go in, it changes the light, and it opens the door. Okay, let's start with the material. You go into your folder or anywhere in your project, you press right click, go to materials. We're gonna name it 2m underscore sci-fi scan. Then you will open it. So first we send the blend mode to additive, the shading model to unlit, search up texture coordinate. Then we will plug it into a panel, and this will animate our UV later. We will split this into two masks. You can type in component mask, duplicate it, put it in here. So one is going to have the R, the other one the G. You can make it small again. You have to multiply. For this also multiply it. We will multiply this with a scalar parameter. We'll call this one the diagonal tiling. This one will go into this B and into this B. The default value can be 1. We got this, and then we have to add them together. So the A, then the B. And in there we have to multiply it again. With the line density, again, make a scalar parameter. Call it line density. For now we can maybe 14. Multiply it with our add. Out of this multiply you can pull a frag. Out of this frag we will subtract with a constant value of 0.5. So we will shape the lines using the subtract node with the value 0.5. Then we will do ABS. Then out of the ABS we will do 1 minus. And then we will do power. We will create again a scalar parameter. Call it line sharpness. For now we will do 20. And the power will go into the emissive color. And as you can see, we have this. For now we can do 0.5. You will see that's too fast. 0.2 is okay. And we need again a multiply, just so we can give it a color and glow density. We will do this multiply again. We got these two multiplies, then we will do a vector parameter, and we call it, I will just call it the holo color. We'll plug it the RGB into this B, and then into this again scalar parameter. Call it glow intensity. 20 will be okay for now. And put this in emissive color again. Now we don't have a color set, so we will set it right there into a bluish color. You can see it's already working. We got our material. Now we can try it out. I made the actor component. It's called door. You can call it however you want. Then you have to create a material instance. We just call it MI Sci-Fi lines. Then you have to put in the MI in here. MI Sci-Fi lines. apply everything. So for the values, for now, the line density at 15, the line sharpness 20, the glow intensity to 15. You can see it's already looking good. And I already put it in the level. And you can see the lines are already working. To make it more like an entry zone, we can also add a frame like in this example. For that, we just have to add some things into our material. And we will get into this now. At first, we have to duplicate this text coordinate. Then we will subtract out of it. And we will use a constant 2 vector for it to determine the middle. It's 0.5 for both, for x and y. Again, we will create these masks for R and for G, connect them both. For both, we will put into a ABS node, ABS. And then we will get them both into a max node. Okay, so we took the UVs again and centered them and calculated the distance using this ABS and the max node to get a rectangular shape. Scalar parameter. Call this outer cutoff. Then we will do a if node. Get this into the A. The outer cutoff goes into the B. Its default value should, for now we can do 0.5. And then we will have to make some constants. For this one, we will make it 0. For the second one, it's gotta be 1. And for the last one, also 1. We can make a subtract node. And we will have to subtract the inner cutoff. Now for the inner cutoff, make the scalar parameter. Scalar parameter. Inner cutoff. This can be 0.48. Has to be lower than this. Now you can copy all of this and put in the max into this A and the inner cutoff to B, and then subtract it. And we'll multiply this again. Multiply it. We multiply this and we give it a scalar parameter again. We call it, as I said, we need a frame intensity, so it can stand out a little bit more. Maybe make it 0.3. Multiply it. And now we have to combine the line mask with the frame mask. And therefore, we'll cut off this. Push this back a little bit. So, okay, we need an add node. From the multiply, go into the first A, and from the frame mask, go into the B. And yeah, we saturate it. And then we delete these. We can just copy them, delete them out of the power base, and then we just put it into this and then into the emissive color. And as you can see nothing, because it's just how the material looks. Now if we go into this one, just apply it for now. We applied it, and you can see the frame is working. You can try it in the game. As you can see, it's working pretty well. So now that we got all the material things out of the way, we can go into the blueprint part. So first, in the event graph, we can delete all of this. Get the event play. Create a material instance. For that, the target should be the plane, like in the example. Okay, now we need a variable, and we call it door MID, material instance dynamic, and type material dynamic, and then material instance dynamic object reference. So therefore we will set this. So we can choose a color for the closed state. We will look, maybe a gray tone will be okay. Color closed, make a variable, then search linear color. Okay, compile. I will choose a grayish tone. Then you take the door MID, set vector parameter value, and then get the color closed and put it into the value. Then again from the door MID, set scalar parameter value to 0. I forgot to mention this parameter name. Put in the holo color, just like we called these, so you can actually change these. And this here was called diagonal tiling. If you want, you can also do 1. For my preference in this level, it should be 0. So if we start, you can see there's only the rectangle, the frame, and then when you go in, it should start the animation, like in this example here. Yep. So therefore we have to go further. You have to make a box collision shape. I think that's okay. Therefore we can now right click, add event, add component overlap. We'll have to make some variables again. The first one is going to be B is scanning. Make it a boolean. Again, one more. Maybe door open. Okay. So all of this execute. A branch. Condition is scanning. Then if it's true, nothing happens. If false, again one branch. Condition is the door open. Put it in. True, nothing. False, set is scanning, because we will now start scanning to true. And now we will create a timeline. Here, add timeline. Call it timeline scanning. Go into the play from start. Then open it. Create a new float track. Call it scan alpha. Then maybe the length 1 second. Can choose your own if you want. The first one has to be 0. And the second one has to be your length time and the value 1. Then we will make this bigger. You can right click on these to use the auto. We go back to the event graph. So in the update, you can get the door MID and set vector parameter value, then parameter name holo color again on update. So then again set scalar parameter value. Plug it in. Then value 1, name diagonal tiling. For this value you'll have to take the scan alpha, lerp, linear color. You don't have to do this, but I prefer the way. Okay, so in the lerp we have to put in the color closed, and we have to make a new one, a new variable. We'll call it color scanning, and the default is, let's take like a bluish color. Get it, put it into B. Now it will interpolate from A to B in the time of scan alpha, which is for our example 1. So in 1 second it will go from color close to color scanning. So we got this set up. We'll have to go into the finished node. So for the finished node, we'll have to take our door MID again, say set vector parameter value, plug it in, parameter name holocolor, then value. We can again make a new variable, call it color open, and then choose a color again. For this one I'll take a green color. Yeah, then again put in the get color open into the value, set scanning for false, set door is open to true because we just opened the door. So okay, this should work by itself now. We could reset the door, but we will try it out first. So we'll start the level. You can see it's white, and then it pans to the color and it will get to green. If you want a door or anything to open, you can put in your some logic into it that will open doors like this, and when it's finished it will reset again. But I think that's one for another video. So in the second part we will put in some doors like you've seen in my example, and make some new logic that closes the door, opens it, and resets the scanning lines. I hope you enjoyed the video. For any suggestions what I should do next, except from part 2, just write it into the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For any questions, just message me. And I'll catch you in the next video. It's a bit smoother